Good morning. Parky, isn't it?
Pardon?
I say it's cold, a bit cold.
Yes, it is.
What can I do for you?
It is Mr. Marco, isn't it?
Yes, that's right. Sit down.
You are a sort of detective, aren't you?
Yeah, sort of. Mrs.
Bain. Miss Bain.
Bain.
Alfred's aunt. Alfred Bain, the estate agent.
Ah, yes.
He sent me to you.
Oh, that's very kind of him. How can I help you?
Well, you see, I lost my newspaper.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning.
I'm inquiring. Woodside Cottage.
Woodside?
Yes, well, you have it in the window to let. Nice situation, fully furnished, 4 miles outside Windsor. I'd like to look at it, if I may.
Yes. Here we are. Very nice situation, about 4 miles outside Windsor.
It is furnished.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Good. Splendid.
You'd like to see it, would you, sir?
Please.
Do you have a car? It's rather out of the way.
That's perfectly all right.
That's been the main trouble with it all along, as a matter of fact. There was talk of a bus route at one
Could
time
I
at this.
see it?
Well, it's a bit difficult. Mr. Bain's not in at the moment.
You have the key.
He should be back this afternoon.
I only want to look over it. There's really no need for anyone to come and hold my hand.
Oh, no, of course not. I'm sure that's all right. Yes,
Look, I'll call him here this afternoon when he's back from his golf. As a matter of fact, it was the secretary of the golf club who put me on to you in the first place.
Oh, I see. Yes, fine. If you just wait a moment, I'll get you the keys, sir. Here you are.
Thank you. I will return it today.
Good, thank you. If I could just take your name and address, sir.
Dana. Suresh Dana. S-U-R-E-S-H.
R-E-S-H.
D-H-A-N-A-R.
D-A-H-N.
H-A-N-A-R.
H-A-N-A. Oh, thank you.
I find English names just as difficult. By the way, how do I find this cottage?
Oh, I'll give you a map. Let's see. Do you know River Lane? It's there.
Ah.
Okay. Oh, if I could just have your address, Mr.
Oh, sorry. I'm staying with a Mrs. Green in Larkspur Road. Just for the moment.
April the 12th, 1917.
April 12th, 1917.
You see, I remember the date. You see, we was engaged. When the war was over, we was getting married. My mother didn't like him much, but I did. That's what mattered. Didn't think he was good enough, I suppose. Used to drive a tram. Anyhow, he went off to France with his regiment. And then one day I saw his name in this list. Every day there were lists. Thousands of them. Oh, you won't remember, not the First World War.
No.
Every day, missing, wounded, killed. Lists and lists. The thing is, he went down on a ship coming home. 500 of them there were, they said, all at once.
Well, it's a long time, Miss Bain.
Oh, you must think I'm a silly old woman.
Oh, no.
Only the other day I was burgled. Oh, the police were very kind and that, but they can't help much. There wasn't much to take. Only an old silver cake stand belonging to me grandmother. Not worth much, I shouldn't think. Oh, and some premium bonds. I used to save sixpences in a glass bottle. Just fitted the neck, they did. But they took my newspaper, though, you see.
With your fiancé's name in it?
The policeman said they probably wrapped the cake stand in it to save it from getting too scratched.
Yes, quite possible. So you want me to find you another copy, do you?
Oh, yes, please.
Well, it's not quite my usual line, Miss Bain.
Oh, it's all right about the money. Alfred said he'd look after that.
Have you thought of advertising?
Oh, I put one in the local, but I didn't get no reply.
What about the British Museum?
Would they have it?
Oh, they're your best bet.
Oh, I want to keep it at home with me.
Ah, well, if they've got one, they'll let you photograph it.
Would you do that for me? You see, I wouldn't understand, you know.
What about your nephew? What about Mr. Bain?
Oh, no, I couldn't ask Alfred. He's much too busy. Besides, he said you'd do it for me if you knew it was for him.
Yeah. Well, I can't promise anything, Miss Bain, but I'll try, all right?
Thank you. And bless you.
It's time I collected something on this property. What's his name?
Mr. Danar, Suresh Danar, Indian, I should think, something like that.
Dark, is he?
Not too bad.
Scared stiff, were you?
I don't mind them. He seemed to know you were out golfing.
Oh,
Yeah. He said he'd call back when you'd got in.
how do you know?
Knows the secretary or something. Anyway, he seemed to know you go up there a lot.
Did a lot of business on the course, Agnes.
I hope I did the right thing.
Perfectly, Agnes, perfectly.
He was so keen, and I couldn't leave the office.
Don't worry about it.
Anyway, it is 4 miles. No one will see him stuck out there, even if he is coloured.
Even if he takes the place, Agnes, which he hasn't yet.
It's very well spoken.
For an Indian, eh?
I didn't mean it like that. I mean, it always sounds so funny, doesn't it?
Yeah, they're the worst, of course.
How do you mean worse?
I say no to one of the educated sods, they're onto you like a flash.
They're not, are they?
Of course they are. Race relations, boys, and all that.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Well, I mean, they're really no different. I don't understand.
One has to be a little careful. Still, so long as he doesn't go filling the place with a whole collection of illegal immigrants. I don't give a damn personally, but I think it might make us rather unpopular. Jaldit chalo.
I'll tell you what I'm looking for, a copy of the London Gazette, April the 12th, 1917. The 12th, 1917, that's right. And can I take a photocopy?
That's right, William. Fire each way. Cheers.
He's here.
Who?
Mr. Danar, the gentleman about Woodside.
Yeah.
Shall I show him in?
Why ever not?
Okay. Would you come this way, please, Miss...
Yeah.
Mr. Bain, Mr. Danar.
How do you do?
Pleased to meet you. Do sit down.
Thank you.
Well, you managed to see the place then?
Yes.
Nothing special. Quite a nice little property, though.
A few things need doing, but it'll do quite well.
Fine, fine. I'm glad we could help. Do have a cigarette.
Thank you.
There's some nice bits of furniture there, but I thought perhaps you might find the place a bit too dilapidated. I don't mean dilapidated, of course, but you know what I mean. It's not in top-class condition. Still...
We coloureds will take anything, won't we?
I wouldn't say that, Mr. Danar, is it?
Dana.
I wouldn't say that. Anyway, to the point.
Yes, indeed.
I take it you'd like to rent the place.
I would.
What sort of lease did you have in mind? In terms of length, that is.
6 months, initially anyway. It would then depend, family and so on. If things go well for me, I may want to bring my wife.
Settling here, are you, Mr...
Dana, again, that depends. See, my wife's father holds a senior government post, and it would depend to some extent on his travels, you understand?
Yes, quite. I understand perfectly.
However, Mr. Bain, I assure you I have no intention of flooding Berkshire with immigrant Indians.
I'm sure we make you very welcome. And now, what we must do in the first place is satisfy your immediate needs. Perhaps I should mention the word rent.
That's no problem, I think.
Fine, I didn't imagine, but one has to talk about it sooner or later. You understand that?
I'm a businessman myself, Mr. Bain.
Yes, of course. Would you be working here or commuting to London, perhaps?
There's no hurry. I shall settle first, survey the opportunities. I'm an accountant, you see. I don't expect there are many openings here, still. We'll see.
I always think competition's a good thing in a town, except among estate agents, of course. So we might be able to help you, office accommodation and so on.
Well, yes, thank you.
Now, the only trouble is it's Friday.
Friday?
Well, I'd like to get some sort of agreement drawn up today, but you know what these lawyers are.
Yes, my wife's a lawyer. Was. She doesn't practice now.
Need I say more? Now, we shall, of course, require references.
Yes, well, I was rather afraid of that. The point is, you see, it's some little time since I was last in England, and I have no social or business connections yet of any kind, not even a banker's yet. Though that, of course, is in hand. Money's being transferred, I hope, today.
You see, it's not just myself. I mean, I can tell at a glance, almost instinctively, if you like, whether a chap is above board or not, as we say. No, it's my client. That's the trouble. I have to safeguard his interests.
Oh, I understand.
I mean, if it was just up to me...
I was at Oxford, of course.
Oxford? Well, now...
10 years ago.
That makes a difference.
My tutor?
And you know the secretary of the golf club, I guess.
Oh, no, well, not well enough for this, I'm afraid.
I tell you what. I'll have a word with my client over the weekend. See if we can sort out some sort of agreement. Meanwhile, you see what we can do about these references. We'll get together early next week and sort the whole thing out. How would that suit? I'd like to help you if I can.
Thank you.
After you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Oh, goodbye, Mr.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Dana.
Mr. Bain.
The name's Dana. I'll be waiting to catch you, old boy.
Thank you.
George, large scotch, please. The other half? I'm afraid I owe you a bit of an apology.
Oh, it's a bit late now, isn't it? She was in first thing this morning.
Then you must let me buy you a drink.
No, you know what it's going to cost her, don't you?
Oh, don't worry about that, old boy. I'll settle it. Just you find the paper for the old girl and send me the bill. At that price, we can always do it on easy terms, eh? Oh, thanks, George. Are you sure you won't have another?
Oh, I'll have the other half.
Hold it up for you, Mr. Bain.
Oh, it's terrible. Went out for a round this morning and came in after 9 holes. Regular brass monkey weather, eh? Do you play?
No.
Oh, you should. You should. It's quite useful. One can pick out quite a bit of business one way or another on the course.
End of the 19th, eh?
Yeah, that's it. How about yourself, George?
Cheers.
Cheers, old boy. Yeah, she's not very well off, the poor old dear.
Right?
The auntie. So we'll go for 75 quid a year, dependent relative tax allowance.
A bit dodgy, isn't it?
I say, old boy, it's life's like that. Just one big fiddle. You got to know all the twists and turns.
Yeah.
Oh. By the by, there's something else come up that you just might have an idea on.
What's that then?
Now, excuse me, gentlemen. Yeah.
George.
Had a chappie come in to see me today. Indian. Wants to take a lease on a cottage of mine.
But he's got no references.
Well, that's about it. Well, he's not been over here long.
Oh, I feel like that, is it?
I think he's all right, Margaret. I mean, don't get me wrong. Just one has to be a little careful. I don't want any trouble with the race relations, boys.
No, that's easily done.
That's a damn full business altogether. I mean, why they just can't come and go.
Turned him down, did you?
No, of course not.
Well, you should.
Because he's Indian?
Well, Indian, African, Welshman, doesn't matter what he is. It's not a question of race, it's a question of references. And if he can't give you any...
I'm sure there's no problem.
What about your client?
There isn't one. Matter of fact, on the QTS little place I bought myself about 10 years ago on spec. What if the land? There's some sort of development out there. And the bloody council went and changed his mind. Well, you know how these things go.
No, I don't, not really.
Well, I have a friend on the housing committee. Lost his seat some 3 or 4 years since, so I'm a bit out of touch now. He's a good chap. Yes, I'd have cleaned up nicely if he'd still been there.
Bit sharp, isn't it?
It's the game, old boy. It's the way things work. You know as well as I do. Anyhow, back to this Indian. As I say, I'm pretty sure he's first rate, but he's been to Oxford for a start. Now, his present address, some room or other. Glad if you'd chase him up. Find out all the dirt, if there is any. Just like to cover myself. Though you can't go far wrong with Oxford, can you?
You better come in a minute.
Thanks.
When did you want it then, now?
Well, yeah, straight away, really.
Oh, if only you'd come yesterday. Sit down.
Sure.
Had a room this time yesterday.
Oh, dear.
I've let it to an Indian chap.
Oh, it's gone, is it?
Nice fellow. Well, seems all right.
Mind you, you can never really be sure, can you? Still, if it's gone, it's gone.
Sit down. There's always tomorrow.
How do you mean?
I could always let you know if anything turns up. I don't think he'll be here long myself.
Oh?
He's got a sister or something, law student. They're looking for a flat to share.
What, around here?
Well, that's what he told me. So I don't think he'll be here long. I think he's only temporary.
Did he give you any references?
Well, I don't really bother, really, not with short lets. Doesn't seem to be short of money by the look of him. Had no trouble paying. Come in.
Oh, I do beg your pardon.
Well, there's no reason to. Was there something?
I wanted to ask if you had a phone.
Oh, no, no phone here. There was one, but my late husband had it taken out. Is that a radio?
That's, no, it's a tape recorder.
None of your rubbish either, by the look of it.
You won't play it loud, will you?
Oh, no, I shan't play it at all.
It's the other guest, you see.
Yes, of course. Well, sorry to have disturbed you.
He seems to be driving a van or something.
Get away.
It does seem queer, because he's quite a posh sort of bloke.
I think it'll do very well.
Thank you, madam.
You'll take a check, of course?
Well, if you have some form of identification...
Oh, yes. Let me see what I can do for you. Yeah. My banker's card?
Oh, that's fine. Thank you. Would you like us to have the length altered? It shouldn't take more than a day or two.
Well, actually, I want to wear it at a reception tomorrow.
Oh.
May I try it again?
Oh, but of course.
I don't think it's that much too long, do you?
It looks very good, actually.
180 what?
7, madam.
Thank you.
Shall I put it in a box for
Oh,
you?
please, I'd rather not. Ali, take the coat to the car, will you? Be careful with it.
Yeah.
Lay it out on the back seat. I'll be with you in a moment.
Sure. Excuse me.
I'm really very grateful to you. I thought it would be terribly difficult buying a coat round here without an account.
Well, we always try to help, madam.
Put me through to the registrar, will you, please? Thank you. Hello, my name is Marker of Marker and Bain, Chartered Accountants. I have a young applicant here, says he took a degree at your college about 9 or 10 years ago. Suresh Dana, Suresh, Hdhanar. Yes, they are a bit, aren't they? Yes, I'll hang on. Hello? Hello? Hello, yes? Oh, yes. 1962, second-class degree mathematics. Thank you very much.
You reckon you can manage over the weekend? I'll come round and have a look at yourself first thing Monday morning, if that's okay. Okay? Bye-bye. Ah, sir. Sorry to keep you. Can I help?
I hope so. Don't really know where to begin, actually. My wife's having a baby.
Oh, I know the problem, sir.
So we're new around here setting up home. Quite honestly, we've hardly anything at the moment. It's a matter of deciding priorities.
I know.
Well, I mean, do I get her a washing machine she doesn't yet need, or a television set to keep her amused?
Or both, sir.
Yes, well, both. It's got to be, I'm afraid, sooner or later. I suppose it may as well be sooner, before there's yet another price increase.
Yes, always a possibility.
And there's the vacuum cleaner, refrigerator, radio.
This is rather a good model, sir. You're interested? New on the market. VHF, FM, and a stabilising tuner. Japanese. Really good value.
Yes, that seems like a good start. By the way, what's the television reception like around here?
Oh, very good, sir, on the whole. And where it isn't, well, we can usually fix something with the aerial, you know. Might cost a little more, but it's usually worth it.
Good. See what the damage is, shall we?
Right, sir.
Oh, I'd like to take it all in HP, if that's possible.
Yes, of course, I've got some forms in. Quite honestly, that's how most of our business is done these days.
Well, saves spending capital.
Yes, indeed. You know which models you want, sir, do you?
I think so.
Right. Can I just have your name?
Oh, I signed these, Agnes. Oh, by the by, there's an inventory of the furniture at Woodside Cottage somewhere. Dig it out, would you? I shall need it for your Mr. Darnall.
Are you going to let him have it then, are you?
I should think so. Why not?
That's your cottage.
Yeah, the trouble is, as I said, we're new around here. Well, quite honestly, we hardly know anyone at the moment. There's Mr. Bain, but then I've only just met him. There's my landlady.
Or your bank, sir?
Yes. Well, the account is being transferred, you see. It's in Islington. We're from Islington. Still, I dare say Islington currency is acceptable here. Anyway, here's a cheque for the deposit. I'll leave it with you while you decide for or against me.
Ah, we won't do that, sir. Believe me, with amounts of this size, the HP companies often don't bother a lot about references. 9 cases out of 10, they ain't got time to take them up, and it all costs money, postage, office work. You know how it is. They win more than they lose anyway.
Oh, look, one small thing. Could I prevail upon you to let me take the radio with me? You see, I know my wife would like to have something to listen to over the weekend. It's still a bit cold for walking.
Yes, you're right there. Yes, of course. Shall I put it in the box for you?
Nah.
Right, and we'll deliver the rest of the goods early next week, sir, as soon as the form's gone through.
Thank you very much. You've been a great help. Oh, do you think I could have that list of things we made out?
Yes.
Now I shall know where I am. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you, sir. Goodbye.
So I went to see her right after lunch.
Fine, fine.
He arrived yesterday, she said, but she doesn't think he'll be staying long. He's looking for a flat for himself and his sister.
Sister?
That's what she said.
No, it must be his wife. She's got it wrong. His wife's father's a diplomat or something. She may come over.
Oh, one other thing. He was at Oxford about 10 years ago. Took a second-class degree in maths.
Did he, Jove?
Otherwise, nothing.
Wow. So I thought I was going to find out. Still, thanks very much. I mean, who knows, some other time. If anything does turn out, well, don't go out of your way, but I'll be grateful. Otherwise, just drop your bill in sometime.
Well, 6 guineas. Or whatever it is now.
It'll be £6.30.
Oh, but haven't you got cash?
Well, as I said, drop a bill in sometime.
Oh,
I know it'd be easier if you're a tax marker, but I pay tax as well. You want cash, I want a bill, all right?
understood.
I think this Darnall chap is all right, don't you?
Oh, I wouldn't know, Mr. Bain. What I think doesn't matter, does it? It's your business. Oh, bitter, please, George.
Twice a day, Mr. Marker? It's not like you.
Well, I have my days.
Anything lined up for the weekend?
No.
I hope it warms up a bit.
Yes.
You go racing at all?
Me? No.
Oh, I thought, being a friend of Mr. Baines.
Oh, I don't make it that easy to lose it that easy.
Good evening.
Evening, sir.
Oh, hello.
Half a bit, please. Can I get you one?
No, thanks.
Half a bitter.
You're off to my room, I gather.
It's about the size of it, yes.
Not really, eh? Can't we do better than that?
Excuse me.
There we are, sir. 7.5 new.
Thank you. Kind of a detective, aren't you?
It's the second time today.
Working for Mr. Bain.
You tell me, old son.
I'm not offended. He's got to find things out. Well, that's why I wanted to talk to you.
I don't want to know, Mr.
I
Dunham.
shall tell you anyway. If you found out and I hadn't told you, things could be a bit awkward.
Can't stop you talking.
Let's go and sit down. Shall we?
All right.
Is that right?
I don't smoke, thank you.
I've been inside.
Mr. Dunner, I've told you I don't want to know.
It's not a very creditable story.
No, it never is.
I qualified as an accountant a few years ago. Set up in business with my brother-in-law. I was married then. My wife was an extravagant woman. I don't know why it seems pretty stupid now, but we had a lot of problems. Getting a decent house, making friends. It isn't easy when you're not particularly welcome in the community. We're both Indian, you see. My wife wore traditional clothes. I mean, she didn't have to. We weren't religious or anything. It was just, I don't know, some kind of a gesture. We weren't ashamed of our color. She wanted people to accept her for what she was, not pretend to be something else. Anyway, I'm sure you don't want to hear all that. The point is, I started spending rather more than I could afford. Try and make things a bit more exciting. I ended up playing with clients' funds. Then I got put away. 2 years. Fraudulent conversion.
And you've just come out.
I did 4 months in the scrubs, then they moved me over to Maidstone, and then I came here. I wanted to make a fresh start where I'm not known. First thing that happened, someone puts a detective onto me.
Yes. I know just how you feel.
I doubt it.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Anyway, that's what I wanted to tell you, Mr. Marker. Does it make me undesirable?
Mr. Donner, as far as I'm concerned, what makes a man desirable or undesirable is not what he's done, but what he's doing.
I should be all right then.
I hope so.
Believe me, all I want is a chance to start again. Honestly.
Fine. Then you've got nothing to worry about, have you?
People aren't always forgiving. Good night. Good night.
Hello, George. Good night, Mr. Marker. Thank you, sir. Good night.
Yeah, I think we'll have the other half, don't you?
You're the customer.
Nice place.
Well, yeah, all the town, you mean?
Well, both.
Yeah, we do all right in our small way. There we are, sir. 7.5, please.
Ah, the strange new coins of the realm. Oh, that should about do it, I think. You have one? George, isn't it?
Yeah, thanks. Thanks very much. I'll have a light ale. Is that all right?
You're the drinker.
I haven't seen you before, have I?
Yeah, I'm down from town.
Oh, I had a place in... Good night, sir. In Fulham a few years ago. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, we're from Islington. Canberra Square, actually.
Oh, very nice indeed.
That's what we think, sir. The trouble is, parking, rates, rents... Yeah, it's getting a bit too crowded.
Yeah, we found that when we were in Fulham.
I'm moving the firm out here. Lock, stock and barrel. Well, some of the staff don't like it, of course.
Well, I suppose some people are never pleased no matter what you do.
Well, I must away.
I expect we'll be seeing quite a bit of you then.
Indeed you will. Oh, look, do you think I could have a couple of bottles of scotch to take away?
Yeah, I think we can let you have a couple, sir.
Good, splendid. All right if I...
Yeah, that's all right. Put your address on the back, will you, sir?
Stout fellow.
There you are, you perisher. Come in.
Oh, could I have a word with you, please, Mrs. Green?
I can't stop you, can I?
I hope this isn't going to be a great inconvenience, but circumstances have forced me to change my plans.
Oh?
I have to go up north for business reasons.
Well, I can't keep your room, you know, not without you paying. I mean, I'm turning people away.
Oh, no, Mrs. Green, I shan't be coming back. I shall be staying up north.
When are you going?
Tomorrow.
Well, I wish I'd known this before. I mean, I do owe a duty to others. I can't run this place on broken promises.
You made no promises.
You led me to understand that you'd stay until you found a place. I expected 2 weeks at least. Not worth changing the sheets for less.
Sorry, Mrs. Green.
Oh, well, next time I shall know better, shan't I?
Sorry?
Nothing. Excuse me now, I'm very busy.
One thing, Mrs. Green.
Yes?
I gave you a week in advance.
Well?
I think I should have 5 days back. Don't you?
Well, since you asked, Mr. Dana, no, I don't.
See.
And I think you've got a blooming cheek asking.
I forget I ever mentioned it, Mrs. Green. It was indelicate of me. Good night.
Blooming cheek.
Morning.
Oh, good morning.
Mr. Payne at home?
Not Saturday.
Oh, what, golfing?
Or hunting or racing. I really couldn't say. Is it urgent?
Oh, I wanted a word before Monday.
Well, he usually rings in sometime during the morning. I could tell him.
Thanks.
He knows where to get you, does he?
Yes, yeah, I'll be in my office later on this afternoon.
OK, if he rings, I'll tell him.
Yeah. Tell him... No, it doesn't matter. I'll tell him myself.
OK, suit yourself.
Oh, listen. That cottage of his.
Woodside?
Yeah, how far is it exactly?
Well, I'll show you the map here somehow. It's up River Lane. There.
Oh.
Oh, hang on. Might as well have the blurb. You can read all about it. Mr. Bain's pride and joy.
Woodside Cottages, River Lane.
It's about 4 miles up the river. Why'd you fancy it then?
Oh, I don't know. Might be nice to get away from it all.
Oh, you get peace there, all right.
Yeah.
And the dry rot thrown in free.
Thanks. I'll instruct my solicitor to withdraw my offer. Cheers.
So long.
Hello, is Marky here? Who? Oh, yeah. What, today? Ah, well, I don't know. Well, I've been out. Want to keep? All right, then, what time do you close? Yeah. And your name is? Mercer. Right, okay, I'll be over as soon as I can. Bye.
Marker, the third time, all right.
Well, I've been out getting your aunt's paper.
I phoned twice.
Well, your girl knew.
If you want to see me, you should make sure you're in. You're lucky to get me a tour. I don't usually work on Saturdays.
Do you want some coffee?
No, thanks. I'm in a hurry. What's the trouble?
Who said there was any?
Look, I've got a club dinner.
Oh, well, we mustn't spoil that, must we?
I take it you've got some reason for dragging me here.
I'm not dragging anybody anywhere, Mr. Bain. I just wanted a word, that's all.
Right, fine. Well, let's get on with it.
I saw Suresh Dana last night.
Is that the panic?
But I thought you ought to know.
I told you yesterday that is over and done with it. I said just send me the bill and that's that.
He's been inside. Fraudulent conversion.
Most of the New World leaders have been inside at one time or another. It's almost obligatory.
This was fraud, Mr. Bain, not politics. He'd been playing about with somebody else's money.
Good God, my broker does that every day of his life.
Just wanted to warn you, that's all.
I know I didn't, is it? You think you've a good enough reason for turning the man down?
That's up to you. I'm simply passing on information.
Information rubbish. You are displaying a typical working-class prejudice. You're all the same, you people. You tell these immigrants they've got to better themselves, and then blame them when they fail.
I'm sorry, Mr. Bain. I've obviously been wasting your time. There's your aunt's paper.
What are you frightened of?
And I'll drop the bill in later.
I suppose Dana told you this in confidence.
He told me because he knew I was working for you, and he reckoned being open about it would make it all right.
God, I'm glad I haven't got your job, if that's how cynical it makes you.
He was playing for safety. Thought I'd be impressed by his honesty.
Well, as a matter of fact, I am.
Yeah, well, that's your business.
I'm glad you realise it.
You might like to know that at least one other person in the town's getting worried.
I'm not interested.
Then I gave your name as a reference to a man called Mercer. Runs an electrical shop.
So, I still don't see any reason why he shouldn't take my cottage for as long as he likes.
Provided the rent is right, eh?
What the hell's that got to do
Oh,
with it?
come.
Look, I'm sorry now, Marker, I ever came to you. You're obviously quite unprepared to be at all liberal-minded.
Oh, like you mean?
I hoped I am, yes.
Liberal-minded, Mr. Bain, you're just greedy. You don't care who has the cottage, so long as you rent it and get some of your money back.
Look, Marker, I don't think you can afford to take that attitude.
I can't afford to take any attitude, Mr. Bain, except to do my job as well as I can. Now, I'm dead against anybody who's out to do me. And I don't care what his colour is. Oxford blue or hunting pink. You asked me to do a job. I've given you the facts. If you don't choose to take normal business precautions in the face of those facts, all right, that's your affair. But don't accuse me of prejudice, please.
When I'm dancing at the ball with a broken heart.
Anybody home?
I didn't hear you come in.
Thanks for your note, Mrs. Green. He's gone, has he?
Yes, he's gone. Came in last night and told me he was going up north somewhere. Bloody cheap, wanted a rebate.
No.
I told him what he could do. So the room's yours now if you want it.
Well, I'm sorry, I've already got fixed up. Thanks anyway.
Ah, well, worth a try.
Yeah, thanks. He didn't say where he was going, I suppose.
Told you, up north. What do you want to know?
Well, it seems a bit odd. I'm just curious. I mean, he's only just got here.
Odd, all right. Something funny there, if you ask me. Sure of it. Look, love, if you're staying, will you shut the door? The cooking smells get upstairs.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Bye-bye, Mrs. Green.
Ta-da, love.
Smells good. Wish I was staying.
We're closed.
Mr.
Can't you
Mercer, my name's Marker.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Mark. Come in.
Thank you. Now, who put you on to me, Mr. Mercer?
This Pakistani gave me Alfred Baines' name. Well, I know him, so I rang his office. He wasn't there, of course, never is on a Saturday. But Agnes said you were doing some inquiries. So I thought I'd just ask.
Well, what's the trouble?
Well, I don't honestly know there is any, but this Pakistani...
But how do you know he's a
got-
Pakistani?
Well, I don't know. They're all the same to me. Anyway, he's just moved here, setting up home, you know. Wife's pregnant and all that. They need everything. TV, washing machine, cooker, record player.
And he wants the lot on HP.
That's it.
But no references.
Well, he couldn't have, see, he's got this bank in Islington.
Oh, has he?
You don't know anybody around here except Alf Bain?
Did he give you a cheque?
Yeah. deposit.
You take anything with him?
Little radio, yeah. Oh, it's a fair-sized order. I couldn't... You know, his wife wants something to listen to. We should usually let him have something. I mean, the deposit covers the small things anyway. Goodwood and all that.
You haven't delivered any of his stuff yet?
Well, not yet. Nothing aside from the little radio he took.
If I were you, Mr. Mercer, I'd put that cheque through your bank as quick as you can.
I can't afford money.
It may be bad.
If it is, it is.
Are you running a charity or something?
That's the way it goes now. You got to give credit, you don't get the business. Sometimes it don't work.
Well, what do you do when it doesn't work?
Nothing. It's not worth the trouble chasing them up. By the time you're paid solicitors and everything, you don't get your money back even if you win. Why bother?
At least you might stop him doing it again for a bit.
No, thanks. If it's gone wrong, thanks for telling me, but, you know, forget it, OK?
Funny way to run a business.
That's the way it is.
Look, if a man is a thief, he's a thief. There's no arguing with that.
It's been a long day, Mr. Marker. I'll have to get home, thanks. Oh, and thanks for coming over and that, you know, and you let me know what I owe you.
Oh, forget it.
Free consultations?
There'll be other times, Mr. Mercer, and who knows, perhaps next time somebody will listen to me. Oh, let me speak to Ted, will you? Hello, Ted. Frank Marker here. Have you got something I can use for half an hour? Just up the river, literally half an hour. Is that all you've got? All right, it's got to be. Yeah, 5 minutes. Bye.
Hi, George.
Thank you, Commander. Evening, Miss Marker. All for the best?
Yes, please. You don't happen to know where Alfred Bain lives, do you?
When he's not in the club, you mean? No, I don't offhand. Some on the other side of Datchet, I think. He'll be in the book.
Thanks.
He was telling me he's let that cottage of his.
Oh, yes?
No, he's not slow, you know, old Alf. He's got a trick or two.
Right. Something wrong with Woodside, is there?
It's not you, is it? Well, there's no electricity, there's no gas, and there's no water. He wants 25 quid a week.
Oh, dear.
Says it's on account of the fishing.
Ah, yeah, I've heard that before.
They tell me it was condemned once, but I'll fiddle it. You'll find him in there.
Thanks. Thanks. No. I don't think I'll bother.
Marker!
Ah, good morning, Mr. Bain.
I got a bone to pick with you.
There you are. Well, you better come in and sit down then, hadn't you?
That damned Indian's cleared out my cottage.
Oh, well, if it's cleared out, you've got nothing to worry about, have you?
I said cleared it out. There's nothing left. He's taken all he could by the rubbish.
Rubbish?
Well, you know what I mean. There was some damn good stuff there, and now it's gone.
Well, you can't blame me. I gave you the facts. You chose to ignore them.
I asked you to do a job for me, and you let me down.
Oh, hold on. Hold on. You'd better get your facts straight.
That's what I'm talking about. Facts. Yes. Facts, not all a woolly-minded prejudice.
Mr. Bain, I told you in this office on Saturday afternoon what I'd learned about your client, and it had nothing to do with prejudice. Now get that clear. If you don't want to listen to bad news, that's your affair, but don't turn on me when you get your fingers burned.
My God, you can't half-twist things. You told me you had nothing on him. That was the word you used, nothing.
But that was before I'd spoken to him in the pub.
That's a damn strange way of going about it, that's all I can say. If you base your judgment on what a fellow comes up to you and tells you about himself...
All right, you've had your say. If you don't like the quality of the work, don't pay for it.
I'll not be obligated to you, my friend. I'll pay. I'll not forget this. My name's been used as a reference by that fellow to half the town, and I value my good name.
Oh, come off it. You were going to take him for a mug. 25 quid a week for a place full of dry rot. Instead of which he made a mug out of you, didn't he?
Oh, Bucket, you just repeat that in front of another person, I'll have the law on you.
Sorry, I didn't know. Hello, Alfred.
Hello, Auntie.
Did I interrupt something?
No, it's all right. You come and sit down, Miss Bain. There we are.
He did look upset.
Did he? I shouldn't let it worry you if I were you. There we are.
Oh, is that it?
That's it.
I'm grateful to you, Mr. Marker. Was it much?
No.
Alfred said he'd pay.
Well, I don't think we'll bother him, do you?
Oh, you are kind.
My pleasure, Miss Bain. Glad you're pleased. Glad somebody's pleased.